Just when you thought the men's national team for the U.S. was about to turn that corner and push a European power and get to a spot where you're starting to feel like they can compete with the big boys. Their first real test came up and they had to face Belgium in the round of 16, and it's a resounding fail. So we'll go into it, break it down a little bit, and get my thoughts out on what we just witnessed with the men's national team versus Belgium in the round of 16 in the 2026 World Cup. So let's get into it. Thank you guys for joining me. No, I am not in an insane asylum. I am unfortunately in my basement because due to the hour, I had to make sure I was somewhere quiet. This game was devastating only in the sense of how bad it went. There was always a possibility of how good Belgium is that the U.S. could get beat pretty easily. There was just so much momentum with the U.S. men's national team. The thought was that as long as they played as good and as high tempo and as technically sound as they have been within the last 4 games in this World Cup, that they had a solid chance to be able to take out Belgium if Belgium played like they did for majority of the World Cup. Unfortunately, the team that we've seen today for the U.S. men's national team was a scary reoccurrence to what we've seen for 2 or so years plus from this men's national team. Error prone, mistakes left and right, the occasional goalkeeper mistakes, and just abominable defending. It reared his head again, and it's just been stunning to see. Now again, the possibility of losing to Belgium is not the thing that's in question. It's just the way that the U.S. had lost this game that really makes this startling. Right from the beginning of the game, the Belgium team just took the ball, held possession, and could not be taken off the ball whatsoever by the U.S. team. They were running the show from beginning basically all the way to the end. Even while the U.S. had possession throughout this game, Belgium were comfortable. They managed to let them have the ball and do nothing with it at the end of the day. So to start off the game, within the first 10 minutes, at I believe the 9th minute, Belgium already scores. It was within the first 20 to 30 seconds, Belgium had the ball on the U.S. end, were doing dangerous takes from the corners and the goal line, and putting Freeze in dangerous spots as it was to defend his goal. It was a horrible start to the game, and that's the complete opposite of how games have began with the U.S. team. So it was a gut check to show us if the U.S. men's national team had the ability to be able to take a hit and dish it right back. And for the first 30 minutes, it didn't look like they could. They were constantly being swarmed by Belgium. They had possession. They were threatening multiple times, outshot the U.S. team significantly. And the only break they got was once they got a foul near the Belgium box, and a free kick was taken by Malik Tillman, and he's been obviously spectacular when it came to free kicks last week. So he was on the ball, takes a shot, gets a wonderful deflection, a very fortunate deflection off a Belgian wall, and beats Courtois to tie the game back up. And you would hope that was it. That was going to be the moment that they were able to snap it on and go ahead and proceed and be in this game for real. But I believe it was about 60 seconds later, lo and behold, they give up another easy, soft goal. Like a clean header, Tim Ream getting dunked on by the Ketelaar. It was absolutely embarrassing just to give it up that fast. So all momentum they had, all momentum they could have built up there, snuffed out immediately. And that's the professional way Belgium handled that game. And kudos to them. They did their thing. They managed to live up to who they were supposed to be throughout this tournament. Then you go into the second half, and this is where the U.S. need to shift. They need to get their way corrected. And they got possession. They held it the whole time. But the unfortunate thing is throughout that time of possession, all they did was pass it side to side, with an occasional dump into the box and a couple of opportunities that they did not convert. And once the time kept taking on by and they weren't be able to put in more threats and actually try to get to do something, they eventually had the terrible moment with Matt Freese failing to clear the ball immediately, taking it off his chest smoothly, then after that just kicking the ground. He kicks the ground, unable to clear the ball, tries to clear it the second time with his other leg, bounces off a Belgian player, gracefully falls in front of Van der Ven, and he just launches it to the goal. Tim Ream tries to stop it, gets a nice little clip on it, but not enough of a clip to direct it off the goal, and an easy gimme goal for Belgium right there to basically break the backs for the U.S. men's national team. So from that point on, they kept on trying to score, they kept on pressing, they kept on attacking, but again, they just kept passing side to side. They could not penetrate, could not get to the box. Balogun was in, but they couldn't even give him any services to be able to get any attempts. He managed to get one good shot off later in the game when they were down, and unfortunately he took probably one too many touches, and Courtois was able to save his shot, even though it was a good attempt. From that point on, it was just clinical. They just shut down any within the box. U.S. could not get close enough to the goal to be able to do anything, couldn't get any good crosses in. They were just stonewalled. So Belgium did their thing to lock down the game once they had that 2-goal lead, and the U.S. just couldn't find any answers. And then just to put salt in the wound, just to make it worse, all of a sudden you go ahead and within the last minute of the game, you just turn it off, and one of your best, Chris Richards, just flips it off and makes a mistake. Lukaku gets the ball and punches us. And just like that, a 4-1 embarrassing scoreline to end the day, just to make it probably the most miserable way you could go out in this tournament. After having such a good run throughout the group stages and the round of 32, you just come to the round of 16 and just shit the bed. It was tough, a tough watch, because again, Belgium were on them from the first minute and tearing them up throughout the whole first half. And they just locked it down in the second half and let US basically screw themselves over. It was a tough watch for fans of the US team. So, Belgium, hats off, you guys did your thing. Me personally, I've been a fan of the Belgium team. Kevin De Bruyne is one of my favorite. Lukaku's always been one of my favorite. So, watching them throughout the whole tournament, I saw what was going on, at least for their first 2 games, and how they basically did not do anything to make it seem like they were as good as they have come to be. The Iran game, the Egypt game, both games, they were basically duds for them. They managed to pull out draws, but they were not impressive at all. So the thought was that they were in a bad state with how poorly they performed in the group stages. They managed to take out New Zealand and do it very aggressively, but again, that's New Zealand. That's not someone that you should have difficulty with if you're at the caliber of Belgium. Then the Senegal game came and they were trash for 85 minutes. Then all of a sudden, they flipped the switch, scored the 2 goals, and then get that penalty in the extra time. So I don't know if that was the thing that switched them off, if that Balogun incident controversy with the red card was what turned them on, or if they just decided to flip the switch now that it's the round of 16. But Belgium was on their stuff, and they didn't even really play the big boys into the second half. And they didn't even play De Bruyne the entire game. They managed to give him a full rest against the US. They played Lukaku and Doku in the second half, and those were 2 people that US men's national team, at least from my following, are afraid of. Doku terrorized the mess out of the US team in the friendly that they had earlier this year, so he was a major concern. And Lukaku is Lukaku. He's always a threat. He's a big guy. He can score. He knows how to finish. But he wasn't even on until later in the second half. So they got throttled by everybody else on their team. Trossard was phenomenal. Lukabako, I honestly was afraid of him from the friendly as well. So he came, he performed, and then many others. It was just a clinic throughout the entire game. It was unfortunate to see after, again, US, they were playing so smoothly, so clean, mistake-free, or at least less mistake-full. in all of the games prior to this one. And this one, they could not do anything correct at all. Pulisic disappeared. He was terrible. Outside of that, he got injured and then was out for a good amount of the game. Dest, who was phenomenal, especially with his interplay with McKennie, did nothing. He was probably one of the worst players in the first half. And then Balogun, he didn't get any service. When he got service, he did something, but not enough because he wasn't getting any service. And then the back line, our whole defense, I don't know what happened. They completely sucked, like completely. They could not figure out how to clear a ball. They couldn't attack balls. They weren't aggressive at closing down men. They went ahead and got beat on every header. It was an abominable showing on defense. Then Freeze, he was good for a good chunk of the game. And then that one mistake was just such ill time that it broke the U.S. men's national team's back. From that point on, you knew this game was over unless a miracle happened, and it didn't look like that was going to be happening anytime soon. Very unfortunate game. Belgium, you guys, good job. I'm rooting for y'all. At the end of the day, I've seen the best of y'all when things were clicking, and when you guys have it on, it is a sight to be seen. So hopefully you guys can do well from this point on. Men's national team, I mean, they're good in a sense where you know they have the capability, they got the players, or at least a good amount of players. They do not have the depth. They need more down there. But the players, the starting squad, they can do something. They can get better. Unfortunately, we got another 4 years before we can see them do anything. They'll have their competitions in between, but at least on the World Cup stage, 4 more years before they can do anything. So it's going to be a tough pill to swallow to see them go out so disgracefully, but it is what it is at this point. Gotta come to terms with it. It's just, man. Hopefully this doesn't kill the momentum that US has gained in terms of its love for soccer and building the culture where soccer becomes more on the forefront. But this definitely did a number on it. A good hit, just hopefully nothing significant. Because they wowed for 4 games. They wowed a lot, and this one was just the complete opposite. So let me know what you got from the game. What did you learn? What did you see? How did you feel? Did you come out of it okay? What's one of the glaring things you've learned from this game? I'll be glad to hear it. Let me know down in the comments. I'll be reading, but until then, like, subscribe, greatly helps the channel, all that YouTube stuff. I appreciate it. Till the next time, be blessed.